Hey everybody, Eric here with Spartanautoworx. Today we're going to talk about BCMs for Colorado's Canyons and Hummer H3s. I've said this in other videos. It seems like everything comes in waves, and right now the phone is going off the hook with people with body control module issues for Colorado's Canyons and Hummer H3s. Mostly Colorado's and Canyons, but we're getting some Hummer calls in there as well. So we're going to offer a parcel solution. But it's kind of going to get you past the biggest problem that you're going to run into. So what a lot of people don't know about these BCMs is that when you put them in, that the mileage is either not going to count or the mileage is going to jump past what you have. So if you got a low miles truck and you go get a donor one that's probably coming out of something with a lot of miles, you now got 200 something thousand miles on the car. So let's take a look at what the BCM is real quick and what we're going to do for you. So here's the BCM that comes from a Hummer, Colorado, or Canyon. There's a couple different generations of these things. They're not interchangeable. I can help you, or we may even put on the website what part numbers fit what to make it easier for you. But I'm not going to sell these things. We're not going to remanufacture them, but I can help you fix the mileage, which is going to be probably your biggest complaint. So the issue with these, especially on the Hummers, is that the sunroof drains right into the body control module, and when it does that, it basically corrodes the body control module. So when you put in a donor, let's say you got it out of a Hummer, you went for a Hummer to Hummer, and you got one that wasn't water damaged, and you put it in, and the mileage from that vehicle is higher than yours, then the gauge cluster jumps up. If the miles is lower than yours, then the gauge cluster doesn't count. So most people can't overcome this, or most programmers can't overcome this. So this is the solution we're going to offer. We're not going to program these when you get them. Regardless if you send it to me first or if you have it programmed, you will need to program the BCM, and then you will need to unlock the radio and do the STM primary key reset. It's probably best if you do it after you send it to us for the mileage correction. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to send us the original BCM, your replacement BCM, and the original cluster, or a replacement cluster, whatever you want to do. Then we're going to copy the miles from the original BCM to the replacement BCM, and then do some magic in the ECM, so that way when you put it back in the car, it automatically updates to what's on the BCM. So like I said, the failure on these, I would say we see more Hummer H3 calls than we see Colorado Canyon, but right now, in the last couple weeks, it's just been Colorado Canyon with a couple Hummer H3 sprinkled in there. It's the beginning of July. It seems like everything comes in spurts, so it looks like this is going to be maybe a new trend. They've always been bad, but maybe this is their lifespan. They're just getting really, really bad now. I don't know. But if you are looking to have a replacement set up so it can be reprogrammed in your car, give us a call, 636-795-6960. I'm also going to put some information on the website about it. I'll put a link in the description once I get that up there. And then I'm going to pause the video. We'll come back here in 1 second. I'll tell you some things you can try that I've had success with. So this one here is a BCM with RFA. Now, don't quote me because I don't deal with these on a regular basis. I just kind of get in there, do what I got to do, and move on. So I don't really pay that close attention. But this one has RFA, so that's going to be your remote keyless entry and your TPMS, I believe. I'm assuming that this is for an external antenna for the RFA. I believe the older generation had a bar that was soldered to the board, and that is what was the built-in antenna inside the BCM. But I would have to have an older board. I believe this is a newer one. I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to look up the part number, but I believe this is a newer one. But the older ones, I believe, had an antenna bar built into the board. But don't quote me. Now, what do we see? So, of course, you got a Hummer. You're going to find that the clogged roof drain is probably drained onto your BCM and it's corroded it. Now, I have had limited success cleaning these boards. What I do is I have an ultrasonic cleaner that I was looking for, couldn't find it for the video, but what I will do is I will scrub the board, get yourself a toothbrush, scrub it down, and then what I do is I fill an ultrasonic cleaner, turn the heat way up, and then I put a bath of simple green in there, and I'll let it get in there for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then I will take it off, I will wash it off, then I'll immediately soak it in alcohol, and I usually let it dry for about 2 days, literally outside in the sun, before I put it back in the car. And I've had limited success when the boards are extremely corroded. Now, one of the things that you will notice on some of these, on the back side of these boards, and these are ones I've had good success with, you will see something that almost looks like mold growing on the board. It's like very light, little black spots or what have you. And my success with those is, again, using the ultrasonic cleaner. I use straight simple green, and then I will hose the board off after it's about an hour bath in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then wash it off, and then soak it in alcohol, dry it off, and then I usually, like I said, let it sit in the sun. I will literally sit it outside in the sun for like 2 days to dry it up nice and completely. And then I've had good luck if you see the black spots or the black dots, or it almost looks like mold. Best way to describe it, it's like surface corrosion. And that has worked pretty much in every single one of these boards I've ever seen. So those are some things you can try. Not going to tell you it's going to be a guarantee, especially on the Hummers when you're going to have the connectors corroded, and the Hummers are usually way worse than the Colorados and Canyons. They're all susceptible to some form of corrosion, but the Hummers, like I said, not to be a dead horse, they're just the worst. But like I said, if you see light corrosion with like the black spots, I've had really, really good success with the ultrasonic cleaner, so you can give that a try. But if you have to get a replacement and the miles aren't correct, or the miles are going to be too far out to make it work for you, you can send us the original body control module, the replacement body control module, the original cluster, or replacement cluster that you want to put in the vehicle. Send it all to us. We can work our magic, send it back to you, then you can have it programmed. Again, after you program the BCM, you will have to unlock the radio with the Tech 2, our good scan tool, and do the STM primary key reset with the scan tool in order to get the radio and the airbag module happy, so they're not coded out, and you can have your tunes and have the airbag. Again, if you need this service, I will put a link in the description to when I update the website, or give us a call at 636-795-6960. All right, sorry about that. We got to make a little addendum to this video. I ended a little too quickly. I forgot. So one of the other things that plague these cars is security issues. And if the BCM is the culprit, the easiest thing to do is just delete the VATs. We do VATs deletes on those. You send us the ECM, we'll delete the VATs, send it back, and it's almost better if you got a Colorado or Canyon. I don't think I see it so much in the Hummer H3s, but Colorado or Canyon, just delete the VATs before it leaves you stranded. You can just take the computer out, get a hold of us, and you can send it to us, and we can delete the VATs on that. Now, there is one other thing. Let me try to see if I can pull up a diagram here real quick. All right, we're back, but I was unsuccessful with the wiring diagram that I was trying to find to give you a good example of this. But if you have a no crank condition with a battery light, or not battery light, security light that stays on consistently, if you're looking over the fender towards the fuse box, the first row towards the engine bay, it's going to be the second one in. It should be a 10 amp fuse, I believe. It's the second one in, top row from the firewall. You need to check that fuse for, number one, corrosion on the terminals, and if it's a blown fuse. If that fuse is blown, you usually get a no crank condition, and the the security light will stay on. So that's one thing to check. But like I said, addendum, if you got a security issue, could be BCM related, Colorado Canyon, go ahead and turn it off before it leaves you stranded. Get a hold of us, 636-795-6960.